Mars age learned from Sunil Sir from his Ultra Beginners course, one of them, which I'm gonna present right now. Right, wherever Mars is sitting or where its dispositor goes, events will happen in that person's life in the 5th year. Actually, in all of our lives in the 5th year, events related to Mars. And step 1 of this technique is to see where Mars is placed in that chart, in which house, in which sign, any aspects or conjunctions to Mars. Its state, its happiness, let's say. How well is Mars feeling in the chart? Is it in a good sign, in a friendly sign, not friendly sign, and so on. Step 2 is to check, of course, the houses. Mars is the lord of Aries and Scorpio, wherever they are placed in the chart. Those will also get activated, especially if there's any planet in these signs. Those planets will also be triggered during the 5th year. Step 3 is to look at the house Mars is aspecting. That's very important too. Just not so Mars is retrograde in your case. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. So look at the houses. Actually, Mars is aspecting the 4th and 7th and 8th house with the 100% aspect. Mars is sending its drishti to. Step 4 is to see Mars's dispositor, where it is sitting. That lord of the sign Mars is sitting in, see in which house and sign that dispositor is sitting. And if there's any influence to it, any planetary influence, take that into account too. Step 5, of course, would be to gather more events and see what happened in the 5th year. If you look at all these steps from all the Lagnas, the main Lagna, the moon Lagna, Aruda Lagna, Paka Lagna, Sun Lagna, everything you want to take into consideration. And if from some of these angles the same event comes up, then you can be sure that you can predict for that person that a certain event happened regarding Mars. Okay, the first example would be, so I only have celebrity examples today. Julianne Moore, a very, very famous actress, very beloved. And her Mars is in the Lagna. It is retrograde. It is in Gemini Lagna. And the 5th year would be from December 3rd, right? 64 to December 65. So this is the way we take the years, the running year. It's the moment from where, the person celebrated the 4th birthday until the 1 year later, the person will celebrate the 5th birthday. So that's the 5th year running. Okay, so Mars is the natural karaka of siblings. And it's also in Gemini Lagna, who is the natural 3rd house of siblings, Gemini. So already you have double indications. And of course, Mars is retrograde, so it's extra powerful. It is also 11th Lord, which is also indicating siblings in this case. Mars's dispositor is Gemini. Mercury is over here in Scorpio. So there's actually a parivartan happening between Mars and Mercury, which connects both planets and makes them so much more stronger to give event, an important event in this case. And Mercury is joined by 3rd Lord Sun. So you have so many recurrent themes regarding 3rd house siblings in this case. So you can, only from the main Lagna, you can see this very, very easily. Now, if you take from Aruda Lagna, which is over here in Aries, then Mars is in the 3rd house. So repeating the same indication of sibling. So it's obvious that during the 5th year, her brother, Peter Moore Smith, was born in Panama. Why? Which is abroad for her. Panama, why? Because Mars is going retrograde to the 12th house of abroad, right? So this is the reason why the sibling was born abroad. Okay, so this is a very simple, straightforward example. You can see it from all angles like that. Now, second example of Julia Roberts. The fifth year for her would be from 28th of October 71, so the moment she turned 4, till October 72. All right, so that's the fifth running year. So Mars is in the sixth house over here in Sagittarius. It is the sixth house of, fights and separation and struggle. And it is aspected by Rahu from Aries. So actually, Mars is bringing the Rahu energy anyway because it is dispositor of Rahu. But it is also getting the aspect of this Rahu, so very much connected Mars and Rahu are in her chart. The other Lord, eighth Lord Saturn, is retrograde, and it is also aspecting Mars. So this Mars in the sixth house is getting the aspect of both eight lords, both Rahu and Saturn. And Saturn is doing this from the house of father. Mars is in the natural sign indicating father. Mars is dispositor Jupiter is over here in the second house. It is the house of family. It is joined by Moon, which is, again, family life and mother, right? And it's also in Leo sign, so that's very important. Now, from Aruda Lagna point of view over here, Aruda Lagna is in Virgo. Mars is the third lord in the fourth house. So third house also shows the quality of parents' marriage. If there's any problem to it, then you would have some affliction to the third house. And third lord being in the fourth house shows how important the parents' marriage would be in that person's life. In this case, being Mars in a fire sign, that would indicate usually some problems, especially that it is aspected by both eight lords of the chart, both malefics, right? So that shows some heavy disturbance in the early life of Julia Roberts. Now, what happened during the fifth year of Julia Roberts is that her parents' divorce was finalized, and she and her sister Lisa went to live with their mom, being separated from the brother Eric, who went to live with the father. So separation in the family, parents getting divorced. Like I said, third house from Aruda Lagna, parents' marriage. So that's being terminated. And so is her relationship with one of the siblings. Another example, Barbara Hutton. For those who do not know, Barbara Hutton was a long time ago one of the richest women in the world. She was the richest heiress, actually, and the fifth year happened for her between 1916 November to 1917. She was born 1912, so the fifth year running is this. So she was an American heiress to the Woolworth dime stores millions, and she was known as the poor little rich girl because of her destiny. So money does not make a person happy. Not all the time. So Mars is the second lord. She's a Pisces Lagna. So Mars is second lord in the eighth house. It is in Libra, and it is very much combust, being with Sun. The Sun is at 29 degrees, Mars is at 26, so very, very close connection to this debilitated Sun, yeah. So trouble in family, you might say over here, Mars being the second lord in the eighth house. Mars is, of course, joined by Sun, sixth lord, so even more indication that something amiss would go in her family's life. Sixth lord, eighth lord being connected, eighth house shows definitely some trauma, especially they are both, considered harsh planets over here. If you also take into consideration that Saturn is retrograde and goes back to the second house, aspecting this Mars, so that's getting even heavier, and you can deduct an unpleasant event from this positioning. Now for Moon, Mars is the fourth lord. Moon is in Capricorn. Mars is the fourth lord of Mother. It is joined by Sun, which is from Moon, the eighth lord in the 10th house. So fourth lord of Mother from Moon is joining eighth lord, and they're together in Libra. and the natural, not natural, in the 8th house from the main Lagna. You can also take the analysis from Aruda Lagna and see that Mars is in the 4th house of Mother, right? And its dispositor Venus is over here in the 6th house from Aruda Lagna, showing something to do, with some unfortunate event. Could be untimely death, could be something regarding relatives. Okay. Venus is also with Mandi, so never lose sight of Mandi Anguli kind of chart. They usually point to some, help you make a prediction you'd normally miss, thinking, something positive would come out of it. But that's not the case. So during her 5th year, her mother died under suspicious circumstances. She was found dead. And Barbara, was the one who found her body. And she said that her, the trauma of finding her mother dead at such an early age haunted her for the rest of her life. And actually, that was the start of the unhappiness for her. And the rest of her life, if you are curious to read about it, you would see how much she has gone through. Okay, so this was example number 3. Example number 4, another famous actress, Natalie Wood. Her Lagna is Virgo, and Mars in 5th year, of course, November 16 to 17. Mars is in the 11th house. It is debilitated, right? So, of course, Natalie Wood was one of the Hollywood's most enchanting stars, and of course, she became very quickly being very beautiful and very stylish, a symbol of those times. Unfortunately, she had a short life, but for those of my age or older, then you definitely remember her. Mars is the 3rd lord over here. Scorpio is the 3rd house, and Mars is in the 11th house. 3rd lord of acting, and dispositor of Rahu, who we all know shows cinema. And in this case, Rahu is also the 6th lord of work. At 5th, at the age of 5, you wouldn't expect somebody to get to work. Mars is also with the 10th lord of career, Mercury, right? So Mars and Mercury are together in this house of gains, right? And they're all aspecting the 5th house of movies. From Moon Lagna, you want to see it over here. Moon is in the 8th house, Aries, right? Mars is directly aspecting the 10th house, Capricorn, where actually Mars is exalted. So that also matters, just like Sonia Sar has recently, just minutes ago, taught us to see. From Aruda Lagna over here, Mars is in the 3rd house of acting. So you have that recurring theme shown by Mars being the 3rd lord from the main Lagna. From Aruda Lagna, Mars is in the 3rd house of acting. And it is also the 7th lord, right? Scorpio is the 7th house from Aruda Lagna. And being the 7th lord shows a very important house for career, being the 10th from the 10th, Bhavat Bhavam of the 10th house. And of course, dispositor of Rahu, the 10th lord. Okay, so Mars is very much connected from all these angles to something regarding career. So during the 5th year, she appeared for the first time in a movie called Happy Land, and that was her debut. She became a very beloved actress. Another famous person, Princess Beatrice of York. This is the Capricorn Lagna. Mars is in Pisces house, in the 3rd house from the main Lagna. The first daughter of Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson. Mars is the 4th lord of mother. So for Capricorn Lagna, Mars is very important for relationship with mother. And it is in the 12th from the 4th house. So you see the events, just like Sunil Sir has taught us to see. When you see a planet, see it from all angles, from all the 11th houses, not just from the main Lagna or from the moon. See it from all the other relatives, because each house shows a relative or a person important in our life. So Mars is placed in the 12th from the 4th house in Pisces, which shows something, people should not learn about. Something should be secret over there. Mars is also the 8th lord of scandal from mother's point of view. So Scorpio is also dispositor of Monday, so not good news, you could say. Mars is aspected by Saturn via reverse aspect. You see, it's Saturn is retrograde, so it's throwing the 10th aspect to Mars. Or if you don't want to see that, just take that Saturn aspecting this Mars with the 75% strength. Fourth aspect of any planet has 75% strength, and you should always consider that. So it is aspected by Saturn, who's the 10th lord of image in society for the mother. So this is the fourth house. Natives Lagna is the 10th house of mother. What happened is actually just a few days after she entered the 50th year, unflattering pictures of her mother, Sarah Ferguson, were released, showing her holidaying with somebody in Saint-Tropez, bare-bosomed and kissing. That was a scandal at that time, if at all you remember. So this is a very important event that happened for Princess Beatrice. And the last example is Mr. Alain Delon, a French actor. Another Virgo Lagna over here, but Mars is, this time it is in fourth house with Rahu. First of all, Alain Delon was one of the foremost French actors of the late 50s till the 80s and actually further, who also became an international sex symbol, a very, very celebrated French actor. I'm sure everybody heard about him. Mars is the third lord again of change, right? And eighth lord of trauma. So actually for Virgo, Mars is a biggest functional malefic, carrying all the nastiness wherever it goes. So this time it goes to the fourth house, and it is further joined by Rahu, who is the sixth lord and dispositor of Saturn. So you have to see all these connections if you can. If not, just keep it simple. Just focus on the fact that Mars is in the fourth house with Rahu. All right, that shows displacement and trouble very early in life, being in the fourth house of, mother, peace of mind, family life, everything this fourth house shows. In this case, being such heavily afflicted, it doesn't bode well for him. So from Aruda Lagna, we can also take it and see Mars is in the second house of family and early life. As the sixth lord, because it is Scorpio Aruda Lagna. So Mars is the sixth lord in second house. Sixth house also shows pending karma. During the 5th year, after his parents got divorced, Mars being the third lord of parents' marriage from main Lagna, like I said before, shows the quality of the marriage of the person, of the mother and father. His parents gave him up, and he had to be raised in foster care. So the parents abandoned him, and they all went on to marry somebody else and formed different families, and he was just, let go. So this is what happened, the trauma that happened and shaped his life also at such an early age, 5th year, what happened here. Okay, so that was the last example. Any questions so far? I think the technique was clear enough. Just a snapshot for maybe people who did not take the first page or were not here. Wherever Mars sits or where his dispositor goes, an event will happen during the 5th year. And you can also see this from all the Lagnas, Moon, Aruda Lagna, Paka Lagna, everything. Yes, Rima. Hi. Can you unmute?
Danelia, ma'am, can I see the 5th example because there was a network issue?
Yeah, okay, just a moment. So that was Alain Delon. Oh, Princess Beatrice, yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Is there any question? Yes, Satyanan. Hi. Can you speak?
Hi, good evening. So, just wanted to know in the group, this Jagannath Hora, how do we figure out Aruda Lagna? It is not there. Is it named something else?
No. Just let me stop the presentation and share the. Okay. Share the screen. Okay. So can you see my screen now? Not yet.
Not yet.
All right. Now you can see
Yes.
it.
Now.
Okay. So Aruda Lagna is over here. Can you see it, or is it too small? It's over here in the fourth house. It shows easily. Let me see if you can, how you can select which bodies to show. Aruda Lagna, it's over here. So you right click on the chart. Yeah, you give right click, you click on the chart, and you go down, 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 down over here. And you see choose a view, which bodies to show. And you go on optional bodies in standard view, and you select Aruda Lagna if you want to see it.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it. So the drop down is from where?
Click right on the chart.
Okay.
Click right on with the mouse.
Okay.
And then go to the bottom of that whatever, and says choose a view, which bodies to show.
Okay.
Optional bodies in the standard view, and you select whichever you want.
Okay, got it.
And I think you will have to restart the program for it to really show the Aruda Lagna which you selected.
Got it. Got it. Understood.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? No. So thank you for being here. I hope you will send nice, beautiful homework to Sunil sir. Make him happy with this beautiful Mars age. And I hope you'll test it on your own charts yourself or your dear ones, friends and family. And send us your feedback and let us know if you liked it and if it worked for you. All right. Thank you very much for your feedback, and thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.